It's Chitra.
Which
It's
means
an Indian name. Portrait.
portrait. Wow, didn't know that.
Picture.
Every, every call I learn something new. So welcome to our show here in EO
That's nice.
Europe. So for those of you who don't know me,
Thank
my name is
you.
Nir Zavaro, the Member Experience Director for Europe, and we're trying to bring a little bit of the ins and outs of what's going on in other chapters. And Chitra has kindly joined us to talk a little bit about EO Portugal and what's going on over there. Could you give us like a short brief about what you do, what are your businesses?
Sure. Nir, first of all, thank you very much for bringing me in on your show. Yes, my husband and I, Roman, and I are involved in the real estate world here in Portugal. We're real estate developers, and we also have 4 hotels which we own, and we operate under the brand name Martinial, which we developed from scratch. In the real estate development world, we are also developing a commercial building as well as a branded hotel residence building, which will be operated under the Martinial brand name, and an education hub, which has as its anchor project an international school in the center of Lisbon, the United Lisbon International School. So this describes more or less our businesses
So,
here in Portugal.
so you've been busy, and as COVID hit you guys, how's the chapter holding up? I know you're the incoming president.
Chap, yes, I am the incoming president. I'm. I joined last year. That was my first year with the EO. EO Portugal is a relatively young chapter. I just turned 3, and the members are all in lockdown, quite frankly, and we are keeping in touch over WhatsApp, and we're hearing of webinars that we can join. We're in touch with the Spanish executive team as well. And yes, I was membership chair. We grew our membership quite significantly since I joined. I was the first female member to join last year. I was member number 26, and we have, I'm pleased to say, a couple more female. One definitely joined, and we had quite a few in the pipeline until COVID hit. So we'll have to resume activities, hopefully when we can get out of lockdown. We were doing monthly cocktails in our hotels in Lisbon, and they were turning out to be pretty fun parties, and we managed to grow the chapter. But yeah, look, overnight, like all entrepreneurs around the world, the issues facing us are huge. We're all, struggling, especially in the tourism industry and events industry, because it's complete lockdown means, and state of emergency means you can't have hotels open. And I can speak from our side. We normally we have 300 employees in the hotel business, and we normally take on almost an equal number in outsourcing and temporary staff, and we were not able to do we're not able to bring in the outsourcing temporary staff, but even our own. All our focus has also been on trying to access the COVID loans that the government announced. Well, in Switzerland, I mean, my husband is Swiss, and I'm also Swiss because of marriage. In Switzerland, within 30 minutes of the government, within 30 minutes of a company applying for the COVID loans, the money was promised to be in the bank account, and that's what happened. Unfortunately, in many other countries, this is not the case. So the government announced it immediately, more than a month ago, but the rest of the system is trying to cope with the approvals of the loans and access to money. So quite honestly, the members of EO Portugal, I would say we're all in survival mode right now. Thankfully, Portugal, due to a list of reasons, is not in the same terrible state that some of our neighbors are. My heart goes out to Italy and Spain and France. which are in a much worse state with the pandemic. People respected the social distancing very early on here. The government closed things down and put us in a state of emergency quite immediately. And everyone has followed those rules. The schools were closed nearly 5 weeks ago. We're losing sense of time now, but it was nearly 5 weeks ago.
How are you
and we've
guys
all been working.
Sorry, how are you guys coping in terms of the chapter, the engagement? You guys are talking about the situation and stuff, I assume, quite often on WhatsApp. Are you guys actively taking part in the community in terms of what might happen next, open to the government?
Yeah, there have been some initiatives, and there are entrepreneurs taking part in those community activities, especially when your business is not that heavily impacted. Some of our members have definitely partaken in those activities. I've done my part to give interviews in business magazines, newspapers, to send out a positive message, to say survive, hunker down, try to get through this. The world will be different tomorrow, and we will have to work with a new paradigm and reorganize our businesses for that new paradigm. But for my husband and my business, which is in the tourism industry, which is the hardest hit, our main focus has been to see how we can keep the lives of our 300 employees comfortable and try to give them some normality as much as possible. And especially because our pandemic situation isn't as bad as the Spanish one or the French one or the Italian one, I would say we are quite lucky to have a fewer number of deaths out there and a fewer number of cases, which all will be positive for Portugal once things open up again. I was telling you that I was part of an FDI task force till the end of last year, a foreign direct investment task force for the government. It was my pro bono work, and I firmly believe that I did a TED talk a couple of years ago, which is available online. If you search TEDx Chitra Stern, you'll find it, and that has all the basics which are fantastic about Portugal. And I think with the experience of the COVID pandemic, it'll be even more important to live in a place with good government, good lifestyle, nice people. And I think we will come out of it stronger.
So before we finish, and thank you for your time, do you have like a message to the EO nation in terms of something, positivity, or the way you perceive things, or anything you feel like it?
Yeah. So positivity, we're all entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship isn't for the faint of heart. I've always said, my husband and I had 4 children, and we had to survive the last recession already. I'll be turning 50 this year, so big milestone year. Hope I won't be in lockdown in August.
I just turned 40.
Congratulations, big milestone as well. So it was exactly during my 40th birthday year that we opened our first Martinel resort in the middle of a recession, just before Portugal went into bailout. So, entrepreneurism is about diligence. It's about, getting your head down and working hours on end and making things happen. And I think we just have to continue. We will definitely have to pivot and look at the flexibility of our models to see how we rearrange ourselves for quite a few years. Survival is key. And as I said, look at the positives into the future for the business model. As I just said, I think there are going to be huge positives for people still to move to Portugal and to relocate their businesses to Portugal. The basics just got even better with this experience in the pandemic. And as I've always believed, making your company survive and contributing to the community, that's the best way you can contribute to the community around you, is employment, paying taxes through your company, and getting that knock-on effect in the local economy. That's how we can best contribute to a local community, and that's what we're trying to do, to survive and to make our businesses continue even after the pandemic.
So, Chitra, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and helping us learn a little bit about EO Portugal. I wish you guys all the best. I love your chapter. I know quite a few members, and I hope we'll meet again soon in better days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nir, it was a